I want to thank the WCA board, especially Amy McNaughton, class of '86, Chris Gordon, class of '80, and the Young Alumni Award Committee for their hard work in making this annual event a reality. Thank you so much. I want to thank our collegiate cabinet. You guys are awesome. And to the student alumni ambassadors. Who are joining us tonight. Because, you know, that's what it's all about, really, when you think about it, having our alums come back to campus and having you meet with our students and remember what it was like when you were here. Because I'm sure you do. And I'm sure now as you reflect back at your time at Wells, you realize how this place transformed your lives. And so it's like looking in a mirror when you have an opportunity to meet with our students. And so it's really important to us to have them here tonight. You know, and to our students, and especially to our collegiate cabinet, you know, I won't be surprised if any one of you is back here in this room in a few years receiving this honor, because knowing you has truly been a privilege for me, and you guys are just going to burn the world down. Tara, when's your birthday?
May 5th.
Okay. Tara's birthday, May 5th, don't forget that.
I take donations.
Hey, you know what? They do take donations. So before we honor our two very special guests and honorees this evening, I really wanted to take a moment to pay tribute to two special individuals. And I have an opportunity to do this because I know both of these women very well. Each year, the Young Alumni Award is given in recognition of fellow alumni who've helped to blaze a trail for the next generation. So this year, the 2019 award is given in recognition of both Ann Harden Babcock, class of '45, and Ann Wilson Baker, class of '46. For years, Ann co-hosted an annual Cape Cod alumni luncheon at the Hyannisport Club. And they always told me it was right across the street from the Kennedy compound, where Ann Baker was a member. I attended these events every summer since becoming president, and they were always a highlight of my summer. Sadly, Ann Babcock passed away on August 15th, just a month after this year's luncheon. I had an opportunity to attend her memorial service as she lived in McConnellsville. And what I heard was just such a wonderful tribute to her. But one thing that I heard that just stuck with me was that, number one, Ann Babcock was the organist in the McConnellsville Church for 60 years. Number two, she, on Christmas Eve, would open her house to the entire community and prepare every bit of food by herself. And most nights, her family didn't know where she was. And the reason for that is because she would disappear and drive around the community giving out Christmas presents to those who were in need. That's the kind of woman Ann Babcock was. And Ann's son, Christopher, who I also know very well, and he's also an organ player in New York, asked me to read the following recollection at tonight's event in honor of his mother. He says, Ann Harden Babcock rose every day before dawn, focused on what she would do for her family, neighbors, and those she would never meet. The depth of her education at Wells and the enduring friendships she made there were a tremendous source of strength throughout her extraordinary life. Ann Baker has an equally generous nature and depth of spirit. 2 years ago, when she was 92, She invited me to play around the golf with her at the Hyannisport Club. I declined because I knew that she was a better golfer than me. At this summer's luncheon, I shared with Ann that we were actually going to ring the Wells chimes in honor of her and Ann Babcock, and she welled up with tears. She's always carried Wells in her heart, just as we carry both of them in our own hearts. So everyone, even though you don't have a glass in front of you, why don't you say hear, hear to both Ann Babcock and Ann Baker.
Hear, hear.
Thank you.
Class of '86, I'm the WCA president. And it is an honor to present this special award, which recognizes the accomplishments and contributions of the college's young alumni. According to the official award criteria, the recipients of this award should possess leadership qualities in their community, philanthropic endeavors, and chosen profession. In the spirit of the Wells College community, the recipients will be stellar advocates for the college, a liberal arts education, and a lifelong dedication to learning. Both of our recipients this evening definitely embody these characteristics, each in their own way. This year's co-recipients have accomplished so much through their professional endeavors and their personal achievements, and in doing so, have brought pride and honor to our beloved alma mater. First, I want to take a moment to recognize the award committee, who worked hard to solicit nominations and evaluate candidates. The committee members are, and if you'd please stand, Kelly Brown, coordinator of Young Alumni. Director of Annual Giving. Sarah Messenger Gleason, class of '88, WCA member at large. Charles Kenyon, interim dean student. Roger Murray, class of '15, WCA member at large for Florida. Rachel Porter, class of '06. Officer. And Michelle Vollmer, Director of Advancement Services and Campaign Coordinator. On behalf of the entire WCA, thank you for your hard work this year and every year. Tonight, I am proud to announce Talyse Hampton, class of 2009, is this evening's first recipient of the Young Alumni Award for Outstanding Achievement. Talyse is an associate campus recruiter for the investment banking division at Guggenheim Securities in New York City. Prior to that, she was vice president of sales and marketing at Leveraged Applications, a tech company in Ithaca, which created mobile apps that connect high school students with colleges. She still occasionally returns to Ithaca to perform as lead vocalist for the Gratitude and Grace event venue, and also performs with her company's jazz band, the Guggenheim Partners Jazz Ensemble. With 8 years of experience working in undergraduate admissions at Wells College and Cornell University, she acts as a consultant for resume coaching and job preparation with clients ranging from new college graduates to young professionals. Since graduating in 2009 from Wells, she has served the WCA in numerous ways. As class secretary, reunion social chair, Fargo board member, and as the WCA's admissions liaison since 2016, she has been a familiar, friendly face on more than one bus trip for prospective students from New York City. A dedicated community service advocate, Talyse is active with Big Brothers Big Sisters program. She also serves as a mentor for a young woman at the Heart Share St. Vincent's, which provides support services for urban youth in the foster care system, as well as for scholars in the Jackie Robinson Foundation. She has also served on the Tompkins County Human Rights Commission, the Ithaca Youth Bureau Board, and on the executive board for the Hangar Theater's Young Professional Philanthropic Organization. Talyse likes to say, throughout her life and career, she seems to always return to three common themes: advocacy, access, and empowerment. I think you'll agree that even though she's only 10 years into her career, she has demonstrated a knack in all three areas. Talyse, I am honored to present you with the 2019 Young Alumni Award for Outstanding Achievement.
I'm so humbled. You have to give me a second while I just gather my thoughts. I guess I'll preface this story with explaining that I come from a small town. It's kind of hard to say that in Aurora. I'm from Binghamton, New York, and grew up. My parents, opened a lot of doors for me. One of those doors, among many, being that my father is a fisherman. And if you know anything about a good fisherman, the story of the fish gets larger every time you tell it. So I should just give you fair warning. When I first got to Wells, I had done all of the orientation. I joined Oddline, did all the typical things that a college student would do, singing on the tables because I lost my freshman sign. But I was still uncertain that this is where I wanted to be, where I needed to be. One day, I was standing in my dorm room in Leach, second floor Leach, and I was with someone who ended up becoming one of my best friends, and we were looking out the window, and both of us were looking at each other. She's from New York City, and I was from Binghamton, and she was like, Bing, that's what they called me, because my last name's Hampton, Bing. She's like, Bing, did we make the right choice? Like, I'm from New York City, and here I am in the middle of the country. And I was like, well, I'm from small town Binghamton. I was supposed to be in New York City. Did we make the right choice? And as we were saying that, this rainbow appeared. And no joke, it was huge. A huge, beautiful, beautiful rainbow appeared over Schwartz Athletic Center. And I held Shayna's hand, and we looked at each other, and that was the moment when we realized we were in the exact place that we needed to be. Wells has been the foundation for my growth. My mother says that it takes a village to raise a child, and I'm a firm believer in that. So I invited my second grade teacher. But the kind of foundation that Wells provided me is beyond measure. It was here that my mother also taught me that, was born very religious, she taught me that Jesus loves everyone. And it was at Wells that I took my first Black history course and came home one day with my nose pierced and was like, you didn't teach me anything about being a Black woman in the U.S. And my mom was like, well, we taught you that you need to love everyone and that Jesus loves everyone. And that was powerful. But it was also here that I was able to connect with Dean Speaker, who helped me fund a trip for, I think it was 5 of us. We went to the African American Leadership Conference. She helped make sure that we were able to do something like that. Wells was where I found my voice. It was where this place has been a foundation for me to stand in my womanhood, to stand as a proud Black woman, as a proud woman of color, and recognize that I am important, that I'm valuable, but also held me accountable and taught me that it's the relationships that I build that will help me to not only propel myself, but to help others grow. And so, through all of that, through this journey, I was extremely grateful to be able to work at Wells upon graduating. I worked in admissions for 3.5 years and then transitioned to Cornell. And through a relationship with a Wells woman, a very good friend from a Wells woman, I was then recommended to work at my current job in Manhattan. But all of that, all of those connections started from Wells. In fact, my job at Cornell, I remember I was talking with a Wells woman who worked at Cornell, and I was explaining to her that I had applied to Cornell for several jobs, and I hadn't gotten one. And she encouraged me to go to a conference, in which case there was a person there who I wanted to work with was there. And I walked up to that person, and I said to him, at this conference, oh gosh, I said to him, hello, my name is Talyse Hampton, I'm a Wells College alum. I've applied to Cornell several times and you haven't hired me, not knowing that he's not the hiring manager at all. You haven't hired me, but you've made the worst decision of your life, and I'm giving you an opportunity to make it. He looked at me like I had some heads and feet. He just said, you know, why don't we plan for an informational meeting sometime? But it was because of that confidence that I had. It's because of the foundation that I was able to build at Wells that really propelled me into the confidence that I have. And, you know, I can stand here today with a lot of confidence and like my knees are knocking at the same time. And also recognize that there's still things that I want to accomplish. And that's in the horizon. But just for today, I'm extremely grateful to, one, have been of service. I'm extremely grateful to have been of service to Wells. And I'm super, super, super grateful for everyone who has been a part of this crazy growth right here and helping me to build my foundation. I'd like to close with something special. Can I have a glass of water? I'd like to close with something special that I wasn't sure I wanted to do, but she doesn't know that she's my coach this whole thing. Kristen Shaw helped me in figuring out what I wanted to say. And as my second grade teacher will attest, it's not Talyse unless there's music along with it. So I want to just briefly share. I want to just briefly share a song that's very, very close to my heart. And ties all this together, full circle. And you'll get it when you hear it. I have to make sure I have the words because I'm so nervous. When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane. Just a place beyond the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why, then why can't I? If pretty little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I?
Thank you, Talyse. Thank you and congratulations again. I would now like to turn our attention to the second recipient of this year's honors, Amanda Casselman, class of 2011. Amanda Casselman is an assistant district attorney, ADA, with Cayuga County. Prior to moving back to the area, she was an ADA in Berkshire County, Massachusetts, where she was in the Special Victims Unit. Since law school, Amanda has returned to campus numerous times to speak at panels and in classes to discuss law school, the legal profession, and how her Wells education has helped her throughout her career. In 2018, she began serving as class representative for the Fargo group. She also returns regularly to campus for fall weekend, reunion, and other activities. She spoke at the Honor Code signing ceremony in August, was one of the alumni candlelighters at this fall's opening convocation ceremony, and joined Professor Susan Tabrizi's political science class last month as a guest speaker. I'm also excited to announce that next spring, she will be at Wells teaching a course in criminal justice. While at Wells, Amanda had an opportunity to do an internship with Paragon Jousting. While not directly related to the field of law, she says it taught her skills that she uses daily in the courtroom. She is also on the board of directors of Equus Therapeutics in Massachusetts and volunteers weekly at Healing Hearts Equestrian Center in nearby Union Springs. In short, Amanda is a role model, not just for all Wells alums, but for all young women. She has accomplished more since graduation than many have in a lifetime. That is why I'm proud to honor Amanda Casselman, this evening's other recipient of the 2019 Young Alumni Award for Outstanding Achievement.
Talyse, and if I started singing, everyone would be running out of this room. But my journey at Wells actually started in high school when my guidance counselor called me to her office and said, "I'm nominating you for the Henry Wells Scholarship because you belong at Wells." And I laughed at her and said, "I'm going far away because I went to Deansbridge High School." I came onto campus, and Wells was the only place I applied to. And I can talk all days about how wonderful the academics were here, and that I took every class Professor Clickard taught. Pretty sure he was sick of me by the end. But to me, my journey at Wells and how it's helped me so much in my career today is the connections that I have made here and the opportunities that Wells has given me. As a student, I did an internship with Rebecca Cooper, class of 2007, with Paragon Jousting. And as I said, I use the skills I learned there every single day. And while I don't run at people with lances and swords, sometimes I want to. And I did have a defense counsel who didn't know me challenge me to a trial by combat, and then quickly withdrew that when he found out I used to joust. But that internship taught me more about public speaking, about thinking quickly on my feet, and about how the show must go on and how a trial must go on. Because there's nothing like having a defendant on the stand that you're crossing and they just say the most ridiculous things and you're like, all right, we're gonna go with this, let's see what we can do next. But beyond that, beyond my internships, the Wells community has helped me so much. One of the stories I love to tell is when I was moving to Boston for law school, I got an apartment through Rebecca Cooper, her father, but it didn't open up until September 1st when every apartment in Boston opens up. Yet law school orientation starts halfway through August. And I had a place set up through a friend of a friend, and they had a family emergency and we didn't know each other well enough. So it was a Friday afternoon. I was working on campus as a tour guide for Talyse. And I ran down to the alumni office and I was in a panic. I was like, I need to move. on Tuesday and I don't have a place to go. And by the time I walked back from Pettibone to McMillan, Jessie Moran had been called and had set up a place for me to live and has become my big sister. That is how I describe her to everybody. And the first thing we did when I got to her house was sing Odd and Even Line songs. And then we went to a Wells barbecue where we sang some more songs. We did go to 3 barbecues, but we only sang at one of them. But my connections that I've made at Wells have been absolutely amazing. From the encouragement to go here, from the alums that I've gotten, from the advice that I've been given by alums, and by a provost speaker who, when I told her what law schools I got into, said, "Don't go to that one until you visit it, don't accept." And she was completely right. I walked into that one law school, my mom looked one look at my face and said, "Are we staying for lunch or are we leaving?" We stayed for lunch and then we left, and I put in my acceptance elsewhere. And because of all of these amazing Wells women and Wells men that I have met through here, that have become much more than just fellow students, they have become my family. I've been given so much, and I hope to continue that coming onto campus and working with the other young alums, just because I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be able to be doing what I am doing without the support and the love of my family and my extended Wells families.